A bit of extra space, though, Danny, for yourself?
Yeah, it's obviously a club that I spent 2 years at, and I had good and some bad times there. There's no doubt about that, and I'm looking forward to the game. It'd be good to catch up with some guys after the game. Definitely won't be before, but yeah, no, looking forward to it.
Yeah. Extra advantage? Knowing a little bit about the Dragons, boys?
Well, I think it works both ways. I think the Dragons staff and players will know a little bit about obviously the way perhaps I've done things with the forwards, and if there are any similarities, they'll be looking for those. Yeah, likewise, probably know quite a bit about the way the Dragons would like to play, and where their sort of strengths and possible weaknesses will be. But it's a derby, you know, and as you've seen before in derbies, a lot of the prep comes down to who wants it the most, and that sort of hunger and passion on the day, something we didn't deliver against the Ospreys, and we need to deliver against the Dragons.
Yeah, well, what have your thoughts been since the Ospreys, Danny, in terms of that game, and obviously Treviso last weekend as well? How things have gone?
From first of all, from a forwards point of view, in the Ospreys game we simply didn't turn up. We probably went into the game after 3 reasonably good performances as both a team and a forward pack, confident, maybe slightly complacent. Ospreys were perhaps not in the same place, having 3 losses, and I think maybe we didn't quite anticipate quite how hungry they would be, and they came with a ferocity, contact area, scrum. We didn't deal with that particularly well, and obviously they came away with a result, and a deserved result. There's no doubt about that. From our point of view, then, we as a forward pack especially, we demanded a response going to Treviso. And in all honesty, I felt we got that response. The forwards turned up physically. We were far more hungry and far more physical at both breakdown and in our attacking and defensive game. Our scrum got much improved performance from the week before. A couple of ropey ones in the first half, but second half we became dominant, and very disappointed with the decision that went against us when we shoved Treviso off their ball, and the referees reset the scrum and given them another opportunity. So, but in terms of what we asked of the forwards, I thought they delivered that, and they turned up and put together a better performance. Still not necessarily exactly where we want it, but a better performance from the week against the Ospreys.
You had that 7-man scrum. I know John went in there, but everyone almost expected Treviso really turn the screw there. You must have been pleased how you held out in those closing minutes. Yeah,
that was another one, like you said, at the tail end of the game. They had another opportunity 5 metres out, and we 2 or 3 opportunities there, and we held them out, and the scrum was better. So it was an improvement from the week before. There's still a long way to go with it, and like anything, technical changes take time, and it will take a bit of time to keep pushing on and developing. But I think a big chunk of it is attitude, and there was a massive attitude improvement against Treviso versus the game against the Ospreys.
Is a big part of stopping the Dragons, stopping Toby the date?
Yeah, he's another guy who's an important player for the Dragons, and definitely gives them go forward. He's a game breaker, and you know, we just definitely need to make sure we keyed into where he will turn up in some of their sort of phase play and so on, and where he will like to carry and cause us problems. So yeah, someone we have to keep an eye on, but you know, I think it's about preparing against the whole team. There's a number of threats there we've got to be aware of them. We're working hard this week already on both our game and dealing with the Dragons game, and hopefully come Friday night we'll be ready to get out and perform.
In terms of Yates' injury, it obviously opens up a space in terms of the national team. 3 back row forwards here who can sort of slip into different positions. Is this a big opportunity for them to sort of push their claim now moving to November?
Yeah, definitely. I think that there's a lot of back row depth here at the Scarlets, and there's a lot of quality, and ultimately that quality will be viewed by the Welsh selectors. I've no doubt about that, and those guys are performing well, working hard in training, and I'm sure will put their hand up for selection.
Joe Snyman could have been involved this weekend?
Possibly. Trained well this week, trained well last week. Obviously he's pretty much fresh off the plane, so is a bit of a bedding in process and making sure he's ready to take the field.
What type of player is he, Dan?
Well, his technical ability has impressed me so far. You know, he's a good line-out forward. His scrum and line-out work technically is excellent. Obviously comes from a good background from that sense. He's quite an athletic second row. He's kind of somewhere between a 4 and a 5, I think. You know, he's not necessarily that out and out 5 or that out and out 4. He's somewhere in between.
Right.
But what we've seen so far has been quite impressive. He's quite powerful on the hoof as well. So I hope he'll bring a carrying element to our game.
It's vital, Danny, isn't it, to get a win this week before Clermont?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think a derby game at home, full stop, is about winning, especially with the passionate support that we've got here at the Scarlets, and I know the players and the staff feel that we didn't deliver that in the last derby against the Ospreys in front of a packed house, and as a minimum we expect a performance and an attitude which I know those players are hungry to bring. There's a demand from those guys in training. They're running that themselves. They were hurting as much from the Ospreys game as anyone, and I know they'll be keen to put that right this week against the Dragons.
Where did you go 25 up against Treviso? Where did you go wrong?
We a couple of things really. We perhaps struggled to get field position. I think territory stats second half we were 30% and obviously so they're very heavily in Treviso's favour. That gave them a number of opportunities to get a foothold in the game and start to build on their territory. That's a big part of their game away from home. And then in all honesty, a couple of decisions obviously went against us. Felt especially that scrum decision in the far corner. Charge down kicks cost us, as we know, and not being able to perhaps get out of our half meant that we conceded a couple of penalties in there which gave them the opportunity to win the game, and that's what they did.
Mandy was saying earlier that table now, you look down at top 8, top 9, and it's getting pretty squeezed there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's close at the moment, and I think it's become quite tight. There's no doubt about that. There's a lot of good teams there, you know. I think we're seeing that already. I think we had a great start with the first 3 games. Perhaps didn't get the result in the last 2, but we'll be keen to do so and stay at that top end of the table. That's where we want to be, and our goals and aims are around being in that top end of the table. So that's important for us. Obviously, we've got to balance that with going into Europe, which is another huge challenge in a huge group. But like I say, there's a number of teams that are now playing some good rugby in the Rabo, and it's very competitive.